Last time, I gave AI one impossible challenge: start a business with absolutely $0. Surprisingly, it came up with a business idea that actually made sense. But every serious business has one thing in common: it has a professional website. So today, I'm giving AI another challenge: build an entire business website in just 24 hours. No web designer, no expensive agency, no coding everything manually, just AI. But here's the question: can artificial intelligence really build a website that's good enough for real customers? Let's find out. Chapter 1. The Hook. Every successful business started with an idea, but ideas alone don't make money. They don't build trust. They don't convince customers. In today's world, if your business doesn't exist online, for most people, it doesn't exist at all. Quick montage: modern websites, online stores, people shopping on phones, entrepreneurs working on laptops. Last time, I challenged artificial intelligence to do something almost impossible: start a business from absolutely nothing. No investors, no employees, no office, no budget. And somehow, it actually came up with a business idea. But there was one huge problem. Nobody could find it. Nobody could trust it. Nobody could buy from it because it had no website. So today, I'm giving artificial intelligence another challenge: build a professional business website in just 24 hours. No web designer, no expensive agency, no copying templates and calling it done, just AI and one deadline. 24 hours sounds simple until you realize what's actually involved. A homepage, branding, layout, images, copywriting, user experience, mobile optimization, calls to action, everything a real business needs. And here's the real question: can artificial intelligence create a website that real customers would actually trust? Or will this experiment fail before the business even begins? There's only one way to find out. Chapter 2. The Mission. Yesterday, AI gave me a business idea. But an idea isn't a business. A business has to earn trust. And in 2026, trust starts online. Think about it. The first thing most of us do before buying from a company is search for it. If there's no website, no information, no professional online presence, chances are we're moving on to the next option. That's exactly why this experiment matters. Because if AI really can help build businesses, then it should be able to build the digital home of one too. But I wasn't going to make this easy. I created 4 simple rules. Rule number 1: AI would guide every major decision, from the structure to the content to the overall look and feel. Rule number 2: I couldn't hire a professional web designer. No Fiverr, no expensive agency, no asking someone else to secretly fix everything. Rule number 3: everything had to be completed within 24 hours, no unlimited time, no spending weeks perfecting tiny details, just one day, to see what AI was really capable of. And finally, rule number 4. At the end of the experiment, I had to answer one honest question: if I discovered this website online, would I actually trust the business behind it? Because that's what really matters. A beautiful website means nothing if it doesn't make people feel confident enough to stay. So, with the timer ready and AI waiting for its first instruction, it was finally time to begin building. Chapter 3. The build begins every great building and starts with a blueprint. And surprisingly, AI understood that better than I expected. Instead of jumping straight into colors, logos, or fancy animations, it started by asking something much more important. Who is this website actually for? That one question changed everything, because a website isn't built for the owner, it's built for the visitor. Every headline, every image, every button has one job: to guide someone from being curious to becoming a customer. So before writing a single line of content, AI helped map out the entire journey. What should visitors see first? What problem are they trying to solve? What would convince them to stay? And most importantly, what action should they take before leaving? Once that foundation was clear, the real building began. The homepage came first. A bold headline, a short explanation, a clear call to action. No unnecessary clutter, just enough information to answer one question. Why should I trust this business? Then came the visual identity. Fonts, colors, icons, images. Every choice needed to feel consistent, because people notice good design, even when they don't realize it. But this was also where I noticed something interesting. AI was incredibly fast, almost too fast. In just a few seconds, it could generate ideas that would normally take hours. Some were surprisingly creative. Others looked impressive at first glance, but didn't really fit the business. And that's when I realized AI isn't replacing the designer, it's accelerating the designer. The more thoughtful the instructions, the better the results. Every response became a draft. Every revision brought the website one step closer to something that actually felt real. Hour by hour, section by section, the empty page slowly transformed. But then, something happened. Chapter 4. The problems. Nobody talks about up until this point. Everything looked almost effortless. AI was generating ideas, creating layouts, writing content, and helping me move faster than I ever expected. For a moment, I actually started thinking, maybe building a professional website had become easy, but then reality caught up. Because speed isn't the same thing as quality. The first problem appeared in the content. Some of the headlines sounded polished, but they also sounded generic. They could have belonged to almost any business. There was no personality, no clear identity. It looked professional, but it didn't feel memorable. Then came the design. AI generated beautiful sections, but when I looked at the entire website, something felt off. The colors didn't always work together. Some sections felt crowded. Others had too much empty space. On their own, they looked impressive. Together, they lacked consistency. And then I realized something important. AI doesn't actually know my vision. It only knows the instructions I give it. If my prompts are vague, the results become vague. If my direction is clear, the results become much stronger. Suddenly, I wasn't asking AI to build the website anymore. I was collaborating with it. Every response needed feedback. Every section needed refinement. Every page became a conversation. And surprisingly, that's when the website started improving the fastest. It wasn't because AI became smarter. It was because I became better at communicating with it. That's a lesson I don't think enough people talk about. AI isn't magic. It's a multiplier. It amplifies the quality of your thinking. If you give it thoughtful direction, it can save hours of work. But if you expect it to do everything on its own, you'll probably end up disappointed. By this point, the 24-hour deadline was getting closer. The website was finally beginning to look professional, but one question still remained. Would everything actually come together before time ran out? Chapter 6. What I learned. 24 hours earlier, all I had was an idea, an empty screen, and a question. Could artificial intelligence really help build a professional business website? 24 hours later, I had my answer. Not because AI built a perfect website, but because it completely changed the way I approached the process. Before this experiment, I thought AI was simply a tool that generated content, but after working with it, I realized something much bigger. AI doesn't replace creativity. It removes the friction that often stops creativity from becoming reality. It can help you brainstorm. It can help you write. It can help you design. It can even help you solve problems. But none of those things matter without someone willing to think critically, make decisions, and keep improving the final result. The future isn't going to belong to people who ignore AI, and it won't belong to people who rely on AI for everything either. It will belong to the people who learn how to work with it. That's the biggest lesson this experiment taught me, and honestly, I think we're only scratching the surface of what's possible. Because if AI can help create the online presence of a business, what happens when we let it tackle something even bigger? That's exactly what we're going to find out in the next episode. But before I go, I want to hear from you. If you had access to today's AI tools, what kind of business would you build? Let me know down in the comments. I read every single one. If you enjoyed following this experiment, consider subscribing, because this isn't just a series about AI, it's a series about exploring what happens when technology meets real-world challenges. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next experiment.